Well, we're in the middle of Burnham Beaches, and I've just pulled off into a nice little quiet spot. Let's talk about leg length and cleats, shall we? Again, I've been asked by different people, and it keeps coming up in comments and things. So basically, this is a basic setup. It's not, you know, I'm no expert really, it's just that it's what I've found useful to me and what I've picked up over the years. Okay, if you put your pedals so they're dead straight, pointing out, put your heel with the shoes you're going to use, push your bum into the seat, and you should have just a little bit of tension there. See that little bounce? Right, that's the angle I've got, okay? You can see that. It should just be tension. Should be a little bit of tension, but you should be able to get your leg straight. So it's just a little pop up of tension. So that's the angle I find the best for me. So when you put your leg, or when you put your cleat back in the pedal, if I can get the cleat back in the pedal, it gives you a perfect angle. It's like that, it's outstretched, see? Look at that. Look. So that's fully out. So you've got that bend. So what I try to do is get it so you're using the middle of the muscle. So when you're on the push part of the pedal, like that, you're using the right part of the muscle to get the right strength. You're not before the muscle, so the muscle's not struggling to get into its power. It's in the right power mode. You've called it at the right angle to push. So when you're pushing, it's the muscle doing the work, and with the new short cleats, there's not a lot of pain in the knees, there's not a lot of pressure in the knees, and it's not working this top muscle so much either. And all the muscles are starting to work because they're in the right mode. So by the time you get to the part where you let go, where the muscle's not pushing anymore and the other one's taking over, you're not at the exhausted part of the muscle, you're just before it. So you're not forcing the muscle there, and you're not forcing this muscle to take over from this one, so they're nicely balanced. I don't know if you can understand that, but that's the way I do it. So you mustn't have this too straight when you're at the fullest length, because that's when you whiplash your knee and you're at the end of your muscle anyway, so the muscle's not pushing anything, it's not doing anything because it's exhausted, and you're just flexing your knee and whipping your knee. So that's when you get a lot of pain in your knees, because you're extending your knees too much. Yeah, there should always be a bend, like I've got there at the end of the power train, if you like, into the push. And then you can adjust it how you like it. Really, you might want it a little bit further back. You might even want it a little bit further forward. That's up to you. But that's the basic, and that's what I usually set it up as on both legs. And remember, you have a lead leg as well, which is usually the stronger leg. So usually try and set it up on that one, because that's the one that you're going to use. Like my power leg is my right. That's the stronger leg of the two. So I always try and set that up on my right leg. Now cleats. I pull my cleats right back and then push them a little bit forward at a time until I get them where it feels the best. And that helps your Achilles tendons, and again with the short cranks, actually that's helping my tendons no end, where there's not a lot of movement in the ankle like there was with the longer ones. However, you've got to balance it up. It should be just after the ball of the foot. So it's behind the ball of the foot, not on top of the ball of the foot, or just there like you do on a normal bike. It should be just... hold on, I'll take my shoe. The ball of my foot is just about where my finger is. So it's well behind the ball of my foot. So that's the pressure there. The ball of my foot is just about there. So it gives you some idea of how far back behind the ball of the foot my cleats are. And again, this is going to be a personal thing. It's going to be trial and error. For your comfort, everybody's going to be different, and plus you've got 2 different size feet, remember that. So they're never going to be identical, but actually mine are. I find that mine, other than I twist one in a little bit further than the other one. But again, this is what you're going to have to do. Once you've got this set up though, this is for new people on trikes really, because there's lots of brand new, lovely second-hand trikes on the market because people give up too early. When you first get a trike, you must get this set up correctly by a dealer, or try and do what I've just said. But try and get your dealer to, if you've got a good dealer, you know exactly what I'm on about, and he'll set that up. Because that's got to be right from the beginning. You've got to get your muscles used to that position. Now it's going to take you a couple of months to get your muscles right. If you've never ridden a trike before, it's different from a bike. And it really does take you a few months to get your muscles in. You get trike legs and you get leg aches and things like that. But you've got to persevere till your muscles adapt to it. Then you can start adjusting it and like it. Because if you start adjusting it from the beginning, oh, I don't feel right, I'll adjust it. Go for a ride, oh, I don't feel right, adjust it. You'll never get it right. You'll never ever get it right, and you'll end up selling the trike because you get frustrated with it. And that's usually what happens. You've got to get it set up right from the beginning, and then persevere for a couple of months and get your legs built up and your muscles and your knee muscles and your tendons all working right. And then if it still doesn't feel completely right, you've got numb feet, or that's usually the one. Your feet get numb, or you get blood lock, what I call blood lock underneath where the cleat is, and there's not a lot you can do about that if your feet do that. I get that on a really long journey, but you find if you just stop and stand up and walk around for a little bit, it spreads the blood out again. It's just that power point where the cleat is, and everybody gets that. You can't, on a long journey, you can't get rid of that. But I can assure you, if you are getting numb feet, or your knees are really hurting, or your legs are really hurting, it's set up wrong. It's as simple as that. I can't keep on about it, especially numb feet. You should not get numb feet. Also, I have my shoes really loose. I've not got it done up at the moment, but I only tweak these up. I mean, when I tighten these up, you can still move them. I can still move them after I've tightened. That's where I want them, and they actually slip backwards and forwards, and that helps the blood circulate around your feet. It's as simple as that. Your feet go numb because the blood circulation isn't right, and you haven't got the cleats set up right. So anyway, that's me prattling on about that. But that's really important for people with new trikes. If you want to enjoy a trike, you've got to get used to it, and you've got to put the mileages in. Try and get out on it as often as possible if you only do short rides. If you're doing long rides, that's even better. Try and get really long rides in right from the beginning. Exhaust yourself. Your muscles then will get used to it. Okay, I hope that helps, and yeah, brilliant. I'll get back to my ride now.